What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Full Court Talk. This is episode 68. So we're getting close to 69. But welcome back. It's been a while. I was on vacation. How are you guys doing?
Good, man. Good to see y'all as always.
Yeah,
Yep,
good to see you
Excited.
guys.
doing good, doing good.
Definitely. So we have a lot to get to. Grayson Allen shoved Alex Caruso, Myles, and CJ's favorite Lakers player that's gone now, uh, out of the air. And Alex Russo broke his wrist. He's now having surgery out to at least 6 to 8 weeks. So we'll talk about what we think about him getting suspended and the length of the suspension. And then Anfernee Simons has been going off with Dame out. Could this mean Damian Lollards is on the trading block now or putting him on earlier than the Blazers expected? Then we'll talk about the Warriors slumping and how the team just can't shoot threes anymore. And we'll talk about Ja Morant as an MVP candidate. Should he be there? Should he be in the conversation? So Grayson Allen the other day was ejected uh, during the Bulls Bucks game, pushing Alex Caruso in the air, injuring Caruso. Um, and after Allen was called for the flagrant two and ejected, he was seen snickering and kind of smirking after while he was leaving the court. Uh, so what I'm trying to say is Grayson Allen is that kind of guy. Like we've seen this happen before, and I know this might be annoying for something for CJ because he's a Duke fan, but
All
um,
good, man.
Grayson Allen has always been quote unquote a dirty player. He plays hard. He gets in a lot of trouble like that. I think in the NBA it hasn't happened as often, mainly because I think in his first couple of seasons he wasn't playing as much, so he didn't get the time to do it. But he was suspended for one game the other day, and I kind of understand it, even though I think it should have been longer because he hasn't had that many instances in the NBA. You can't take his track record in the NCAA and say, okay, we're going to punish you for that. But it's two different leagues. So they couldn't punish him for that, even though I think it should have been longer. I think 3 games minimum. Um, but I didn't like the way the Bucks kind of responded to it. I mean, obviously they're going to back their guy, but they should have just left it as it was. But saying he did nothing wrong, that's BS. If you look at the tape, he contests the shot, and then with his other hand, he fully just drags him down. It's a really bad look. And Alex Russo is one of the most loved NBA players. So you're doing it against a fan favorite from any NBA fan. So what do you guys think about this? Do you guys think he should have been suspended longer? Do you guys think it was a dirty play, first of all? But what do you guys think?
Um, so as you said earlier, Spence, I have seen Grayson Allen play for quite some time, being a Duke fan, all 4 years at Duke. Let me just say that his suspension, I agree with what you said. It should have been longer. When he did those things in college, and Coach K sat him down and talked to him, and basically told him that hey, you can't be doing that sort of stuff in this type of setting because not only do you represent yourself, you represent Duke University. So you can't be doing those things. And he did stop it for a little bit up until going to the NBA. And like you said, there hasn't been a lot of playing time for him in the early years of his career as a professional athlete. So he hasn't had a chance to, really show how dirty of a player he is. But yeah, so no matter how much you made up for what you did in college, that one incident that he did with Caruso was just so disappointing because he already has a track record of doing it. So the impression was that he changed and he's no longer like that. He said it himself in the press conference right after that Virginia Tech game that this is not something that he does and how he doesn't intentionally hurt others, but obviously the tape doesn't lie. And now with this incident, like it's very disappointing because one, I can speak for Miles and I, like we love Caruso. You don't want to see that happening to him, right? And what makes it worse is what you described, Spence, is that second hit. Because that first one, if he left it at that first one, it would have been a flagrant one. Flagrant two, okay, I would understand that for that first hit. But the fact that there was a windup after, That's what made it worse. And, being all of us are basketball players, obviously we don't play like professionally and stuff, but we can all agree that when you're in the air, you are at the mercy of pretty much the air, right? You have no control of how to land and stuff. So that's the worst possible thing you can do to a basketball player and a high flyer like Caruso. To not let him have any type of control over his landing. Because that could have easily been bad. And just watching it over, there's no way to justify that was just a basketball play, especially with that second windup. So it's very disappointing because, like I said, he already has a track record of doing it, and there's no way to defend that. I'm not saying I'm a Grayson Allen fan. I'm just saying, like, being a Duke fan, it's just very disappointing as a fan to see that. I thought he left that behind him, and unfortunately, that wasn't the only instant that he's shown with Milwaukee. There was another instance that he showed of a dirty play, but it wasn't as blown up as it is now, because the fact that Caruso have to get stitches and he's out for a certain period of time, that's just so disappointing. There's no place in the league for that, and it sucks because you see people defending him. I'm not even defending him, and I love Duke. I like the type of player he is. It's just, long story short, he deserves to be suspended more than just a game. Bucks should have handled it more remorsefully. It's almost as if they were just trying to brush it off. They stand up for him, but they were just trying to brush it off. And I like what Billy Donovan said. I really like how he responded, because he's right. There's just no place in the league for that. So it's disappointing, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, no disagreement here at all. I do agree. One game is pretty generous. I also thought 3 was a sweet spot for like a minimum amount. I did see a tweet. Someone said he should be out for as many games as Caruso's out, which is, I know, extreme, but I would have loved that. Yeah, obviously we're Caruso fans, so we're biased, and you're right. Like, the play in itself, the first move was a basketball play, even though it still is reckless. Like, that's a flagrant one, but it's almost as like the second move kind of pushed Caruso down a little bit, so it made the fall even worse. Obviously, your instinct is to absorb your fall with your hands, and that's why his wrist got dislocated. So, and mind you, it's a regular season game in January. Like, I've seen people kind of compare it to Danny Green and Clay, which, albeit again, play on the ball, but not safe. It's very reckless. Probably shouldn't have done it. But that's Game 6 of the NBA Finals. And on top of that, as you guys mentioned, also, it's a bad look on the Bucks organization, just to not have that hindsight. Like, he's clearly hurt because of your dude, and he's missing significant time. So it's just a bad look overall. Hopefully teams that are coming up playing the Bucks, I mean, obviously they wouldn't like stick up for Caruso or whatever, but I'm sure they'll get some licks in on him. So it's just stupid. It's so unnecessary. There's no room for that.
Yeah, and I think another thing that I saw is that Caruso said that I don't think Grayson Allen even like reached out to him, asked if he was okay. Didn't even say any like sorry, apologetic or anything. He said nothing. And you see most guys like Danny Green and the Clay incident, like Danny Green checked up on him, did all that. And like you said, like that's a much different scenario. It was a play on the ball. And even though he shouldn't have contested it, it's Game 6. You have to go up. You have to play with everything. So I get that. Grayson Allen is just, I think he's just dirty. He's been dirty. This is not new for him. So it's a bummer that he's not getting suspended for more games, because one game is very generous, like you said. It's tough because Caruso is like the heart and soul of that Bulls team, and he's missing even more time because I think he missed a lot more time because I think he had COVID or it was in health and safety, so
Yeah.
He's now missing more time. They're missing Lonzo for 6 to 8 weeks with a knee injury, I believe. So the Bulls are getting taken apart by injuries, and this one could have been prevented. And honestly, it could have been career-ending for Caruso if it had done more damage. If he didn't stop himself with his hand or his wrist. Luckily, he did. But it's not. There's no place in the league for someone like Grayson Allen. So it's just a bummer because Caruso has had a career year, and it's been nice to see him kind of bloom into himself, and just to be derailed by injuries sucks. So we'll see. I hope he gets better because I love what Caruso's been doing. The Bulls have been really good. So it sucks to see him like that. But Anfernee Simons is blooming into maybe a young star. In 13 games as a starter, he's averaging 21 points, 6 assists, 46% from the field, 42 from three. And I didn't know this, but he's only 22. It feels like he's been in the league for a long time. And it's because he came out of high school, out of IMG, so a continuation school. He dropped 43 against the Hawks. Not hard because you're going against Trae Young, but still 43. I think Simons is really good. He can shoot. He can finish. Good playmaker. But do you guys think that this small sample size is enough to consider, or for the Blazers to consider trading Damian Lillard? What do you guys think?
Under a better situation, I wouldn't say it's enough. But considering where the Blazers are, where Portland is right now, I think it's enough because you don't like you kind of. Sorry, my dog is drinking water. If you can hear that, like Dame's value might only fall more the longer you wait. Maybe you could try to hold out and wait for him to come back and to look like himself again. But I don't see the point in wasting time. Like, not only do I think they should deal Dame, I think they should deal McCollum too. Like, just commit to a full rebuild. You're not contending right now. Simons is a very good building block. Let him get the reps in. He's kind of everything you want in a modern day point guard minus defense. But yeah, if you can draft well, draft another young guy with him, I mean, they're dangerous. But yeah, I think you should. I think strike while the iron's hot. I don't know if they have called Daryl Morey already, but to Dame Philly would be, I think, the best team in the league. And yeah, you get Simmons, maybe some picks. I don't know, but yeah, I think it's time for Dame and McCollum to be shipped from Portland.
First of all, I'd like to shout out one of my friends who's a Blazer fan. I hope he still is a Blazer fan, considering what's going on. So shout out Derek for believing in Anfernee Simons because he called it from back then, and I somewhat saw it when he was playing in IMG Academy, just because he was a target for obviously Duke and all that. But he's been hooping, and one of the best comparisons that I've seen is there was a graphic. I think I saw it on Twitter or Instagram, but if you can imagine Trae Young, imagine a taller Trae Young with athleticism because of what he showed, especially that game where Trae Young had 50 and he had 40. Man, like that was a shootout, literally. And he's blooming. Like, I hate to see players get injured, but the fact that Dame has been out, the fact that CJ has been out, he's been able to showcase what he's been having. And I had a friend who recently saw him play in person, and he was just saying that how he's so controlled and poised, even for, like you said, Spence, for a person his age. And I agree with Myles. The Blazers just blow it up. They're not chasing for a playoff position nor for a ring at all. I think it's about that time. Dame and CJ have done their due diligence there. You can't just trade one. I agree. You have to trade them both. Just commit to the rebuild. And if they go ahead and get Ben Simmons, I think the Sixers would be the best team in the league. And I think, Nasir Little, I hate to say it because, UNC guy, but him and Anfernee Simons, like, they would be a good place to start. Wouldn't be like a crazy duo, but, I would love to see that rebuild. And, if Dame wants to go to, LA, can't flaunt him for that either. You know what I mean? THT and Kendrick Nunn, they can help the rebuild, bro. But Anfernee Simons he's showing us that he's just like a hooper. And the crazy part is, not only can he shoot, he's straight bouncy. I want to remind the people that he's won the dunk contest, which it doesn't mean that you're just an absolute like crazy athletic dunker, but the athleticism is there, the shooting is there, and I think the ability to lead a team, which what he's shown with these injuries that have caused him to be that guy, has shown, hey, he can run his own team. And like Myles said, you got to strike while the iron is hot. So Dame and CJ, if you guys want to go to, La La Land, I'm ready to buy the jersey.
I'd buy that real fast. Dame jersey, Lakers. It won't happen.
Oh, yeah.
I've already given up on that, but that'd be crazy.
Hey, for a better zero, let me sign up.
If the Pistons don't want them, I don't think anyone's gonna want them. But
yeah, you're honestly not wrong. I fucking hate that, bro.
Yeah.
God, man. Pain.
even the Sixers, I don't know if it like as much as Simons and Simmons, I think that'd be interesting. Knowing that there's like rumors about Harden possibly, I guess I saw that it's almost guaranteed he's going to be a Sixer now. I don't know where they got that from. But I think they're just going to hold out till the summer because the Nets aren't going to make a move now. But maybe during the summer, they trade Harden for Simmons. Simmons on the Nets doesn't sound right to me personally, but I don't know. But I think the Blazers have a lot to look forward to if they trade Dame. Get a good amount of picks. The upcoming draft, or a couple of drafts, are pretty good. Chet Holmgren, he's a nice piece. Paolo Banchero for CJ, he'd be a good player.
Best college player, man.
No, he's nice. He's nice.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
And then that guy from, I think, France, Victor Wembanyama. That dude's nasty. Might be a good one.
Yep.
Might be a good one to pair. So there's a lot of talent coming in. And I think if the Blazers kind of focus on a rebuild now, they can kind of jumpstart it and get ahead of it. A lot of teams never want to rebuild, and I think the Blazers are one. Because we've talked about the ownership before, they're very focused on the costs and making money. They'll cut costs whenever they have to. And if they're controlling a bad team, they might not want to because they're not going to make as much money. So they might just hold out. So I don't know what's going to happen, but Simons looks like he could be pushing for that starting role. And if Dame continues to kind of play bad, we'll see. But I think he's pretty much out for the season. I think he's opting to have the surgery and just sit out. And then CJ is going to be harder to trade because I guess he's viewed as a negative asset. So Blazers have a fun rest of the season for them.
That's fine, Dame. If you're listening, we can wait.
I think you guys might have to trade AD for him, but
I mean, I think just this year is a wash. Like there's 5% chance at best that we're gonna win. So just take the L this year. Try to see what we can do in the off season.
Agreed.
And I think in the meantime, you guys can I'm just spitballing, just become Warrior fans.
Spencer. It's a new year, man. Come on.
Exactly. New year, new you, right?
Oh,
new fan.
New year, new me. Same me, though.
Well, since we're talking about the Warriors, let's talk about their slumps and how they're 7-7 since December 28th. And it's actually worse than that if you look back further, when they started 28-3 or something like that. For some reason, they're slumping for 2 straight months. And obviously, Steph is one of the highlights because he hasn't been shooting the ball as well. Something that Steve Kerr highlighted, I think in the last 4 games, he has 34 assists to 6 turnovers. So he's passing the ball really well. But for some reason, he's just not scoring as much. I'm not super worried because it's Steph. Steph's going to break out of it at some point and go nuclear. And they've been missing Draymond for a while now. So you're missing really important players. And then you're also kind of integrating Clay back. It was bound to happen. The Warriors were going to slump at some point, especially adding like a player like Klay Thompson back, who hasn't played with, I would say, like 85% of the team. He's played with Kevon Looney, Iguodala, Steph, and Dre, and that's it. Jordan Poole has been playing really well when he starts, but when he comes off the bench, he's inconsistent. So it's kind of him figuring out his role, Clay figuring out his role. Just everyone is trying to figure out their roles again. So they're all going to struggle. It just sucks they all have to struggle at the same time. But winning all those games in the beginning kind of helped us have a cushion. So we're still second in the West. Kuminga, for some reason, is in the doghouse for getting a T against Lance Stevenson. No idea why, but now he's not starting anymore. So Steve Kerr is showing him early that confidence for rookies is bad, but I don't know. I think the only thing I'd be worried about is James Wiseman. Wiseman had a secret surgery like a month ago. They didn't talk about it until it was released. I would say about a week and a half ago by I think it was Marcus Thompson. So that's not a great look because they're keeping everything kind of quiet with him. There's still no timetable. Steve Kerr doesn't even know how he's progressing. It just seems like every month, I would say, he has a setback. So I'm getting concerned because as a big with a knee injury, that's bad enough. But he's hitting, I believe, the 10-month mark for his injury. So it's not looking good. But what do you guys think about the Warriors slumping? Is there a reason for fans to press the panic button, or are there reasons to just chill out and be patient with it?
Spence, I hate to break it to you, bro, but Steph's legacy is on the line. I'm just kidding.
Breach. Just kidding.
Oh man. Nah, so I mean, you're right. At the end of the day, bro, Warriors are second place. It's a long season, a new year. Obviously, it's happening, but it is nice to see the TL awfully quiet, you know.
Yes.
But they're at that point. Well, I don't know if you remember, Spence, where Steve Kerr has talked about this is not how you define the whole season, but you remember when the Warriors had KD would go into Staples and get smacked, right? What did he say after? Oh, it's our annual beatdown of going to Staples, right? So, not trying to say that as in a Laker way, but what I am trying to say is that there's always that time in the season where every team has that tough spot, right? And I wasn't trying to throw any shade in there because I want those that are listening to know that every team is going to have those ups and downs. And the Warriors had a lot of ups, which was surprising a lot of people. And now implementing Clay, who we are all glad to be back. It's going to be tough. He hasn't played, like you said, with a lot of these guys. And the thing is, the Warriors haven't even reached their full potential yet. As a disclaimer, like Myles likes to say, not a Warrior fan in any way, a hoop fan here. But they were hitting their strides, a little setback here and there. Steph took some time off because of some nagging injuries, but they'll find it. And sooner than later, Steph's gonna drop like 40, and then everybody's just gonna go crazy again, and then all will be right in California, right? But it's just a rough patch, and Wiseman. Correct me if I'm wrong, Spence. He had another setback because he would have been back a little bit sooner. So that's another thing. That's a hit, and you guys have been relying on a lot of these guys to carry the load, which they're more than capable of doing because, at the end of the day, another thing that I want to say is that Draymond's not playing. He's injured, and he's a vocal point of this team. And without him, he initiates a lot of the defensive stops and all these offensive sets that they do. And they're barely winning games, which, it's funny because of the memes of, Steph hitting a game winner against the Rockets. Bro, it's the Rockets. LeBron saying that he's that guy. It's the Kings, But, yeah, Draymond's out. Like, it would be different if you guys were slumping and Draymond was playing. You know what I mean? Like, that's when I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, blow it up, Spence, trade everybody. But as of right now, you guys are missing some guys, implementing Clay to a new system. I mean, not a new system, but new players. And, bro, it's funny to me, but I know you hate it. Steve Kerr, bro, it could all be so simple. But the guy wants to run some sets. You got the best shooter in the whole world ever. But you got to run some sets first. Which is funny, So it's not a time to panic. It's fun for us, but they'll figure it out.
The amount of times I see Steph set a back screen for Kevon Looney to get the ball is infuriating.
That's honestly disgusting. I'd probably throw up.
There's no reason, Steph, during the Pacer game, there's no reason we shouldn't have not fouled when we were up 3. And for Juan Toscano-Anderson to get the last shot, I love JTA.
Yeah.
But him taking the last shot is not it, man.
You're not that guy, pal.
Bro.
Exactly.
Man. And you know what? I mean, you guys have the pieces, bro. Like you said, I mean, Belly hasn't really been Belly.
He's been trash.
Yeah. Iguodala hasn't been.
He's been hurt.
Yeah, he's been hurt. So it's
he's
hard.
been dealing with some injuries.
I mean, Otto Porter Jr. Yeah.
Kevon Looney is better than Rudy Gobert.
Kevon Looney, bro, aka the second coming of Kareem. But yeah, man, like you guys have the pieces to hold your ground, and I understand these are close games, which is, I feel like at this point, Spence, like how you feel about these games that you guys are winning close is how we feel about the games that we should be smacking these teams, right? So it's just, Steve Kerr wants to get his sets in. I would not be surprised if, another thing, Kuminga, right? He's been playing good in Draymond's absence.
Yeah.
From what I noticed, learning on the fly. But yeah, it sucks as a fan of that team, right? Because you see them losing, and obviously you expect them to win. But second place is better than being in danger of the play-in. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I don't miss last season.
Man.
I miss it.
Right.
Oh my god. Oh my god, bro. I hate this.
You're the play-in, right? I don't even
want to make it, bro.
Check.
I don't even want to make it.
Guys. I'll check.
I really don't. I really don't want to make it, bro. Oh my god. Put me out of my
Okay, let me check for you guys. You guys are are 8th.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we're in
8th?
it, but I mean, it's God, just watch it. Like, I honestly really just should stop watching games because it's just so.
Yeah, bro, it's so hard.
God.
And
Never again am I getting my hopes up this year. I don't care what happens. It happened
What if
after
Ken
Atlanta.
Bazemore gets it out?
Oh God, I forgot about him too, dude. Just
wait, what happened? What happened?
What if Ken Bazemore gets dealt? Would you watch?
oh my God.
Who? No, I'm kidding. I'm
Nah,
kidding.
dude.
Bro,
Like, it's such a headache, dude. Never again am I getting my hopes up this year after Atlanta and after Utah.
those 2 games are solid, bro. And,
Yeah, exactly.
we messed up with the Pacers.
Yeah.
I mean, came back from the Heat, but it was too late. THT just traded himself away, but I guess he can't.
He's trying.
But I don't know, man. But yeah, I try not to watch. My girlfriend tells me it's bad for my mental health, but I love toxicity, man. What can I say, bro?
I want to chime in on the Warriors before we
yeah, go
get
ahead.
back to it. I honestly don't even want to try, or I almost don't want to chime in because everything you said, Spencer, is like 1,000% on the money. Like, and I respect the hell out of it because I know a lot of Warrior fans who like get over the top. Oh my god, I'm so worried. Like, we're not the best team ever anymore. Like, dude, relax. It's the perfect storm in a bad way. It's January. You're bound to have some slumps, and you are integrating Clay. Draymond's missing time. Like, you can't bat 1,000. You can't go 100 miles per hour like all the time. So just take it in stride. And honestly, I think it's encouraging that you're having all these growing pains at the same time because you're gonna get better because of it. And again, you're still only 3 games out of the first seed. I wouldn't prioritize getting the first seed. I would just prioritize getting everyone comfortable in their roles, playing the best brand of basketball. Because even though it's less so the case in basketball that the hottest team wins, like what matters is just the brand of basketball you play. Doesn't matter where you play it. So as much as we're enjoying it right now, as CJ said, don't like it's really nothing to worry about. Like I would gladly trade situations right now.
Facts.
God, dude. Garbage.
Yeah, I think the amount of people that are freaking out because Steph is slumping and like everyone's just kind of going through a collective slump, it just makes no sense. Like it's that part of the season where there's kind of a lull. There's no real break. You're having a lot of back-to-backs. You're kind of waiting for the All-Star break to roll around. Clay's coming back. It's gonna be fine. We're still the second seed. People acting like we're like dropping spots every day. We lose
Bro,
again.
your best
we're
player
still the
is
second.
Gary Payton the second. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm cool with it. He's kind of nice.
No, that's how
But, I
people
mean,
are acting like. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
like,
how they're acting like, yeah.
people are freaking out, and it's like just calm down. You know,
Yeah.
like like you said, a lot of teams would rather be in our position to be struggling to keep the second seed rather than being at the bottom, right? It'll be fine. It's not going to be that bad. At some point, everything's going to click. And when Klay Thompson is back
Hopefully
healthy,
not, but
I don't know.
Also,
no, seriously.
But then you guys are going to be fans.
Spencer, give up, dude.
come on, man. I will
We're going
say
to be a
this,
fan
though.
of a good team with no. I mean, I was going to say no turnovers. We have a lot, but
I will say this. My favorite player on that team is Chris Shields. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay, that's nobody. Even his family was more fans of Steph. But we got Kevin Looney, bro. He's nasty. Okay, stop.
Man.
He's better than Dwight. Right now.
Yeah.
Sheesh. Oh man.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's get to the last topic. John Morant, MVP candidate. So I'm gonna say hell yeah. I think you guys are gonna say the same thing. But Draymond got a very glowing endorsement from Draymond saying that he should be an MVP candidate, not an MIP candidate. 25 and 7 on 49% from the field, 35 from 3. I honestly should hate him. He kills the Warriors every fucking time.
Warrior killer,
bro.
That's why I love him so much, dude. Honestly, floater alert
crap.
Every time. You know what's gonna come. You know it's gonna be a floater in the last second. They can't stop it. He's just so nasty. But I love him. Like he plays. Just the way he plays is so good. And just everything about him. I think I love his passion, the way he moves the ball, the way he dunks the ball, everything. He's just a good player. And I think what's more impressive, he's really somehow propelled the Grizzlies to the top 3 seed. And there's no other star next to him. Jaren Jackson is not a star. He's been really good, but he's not a star. Dylan Brooks, I hate his fucking ass, but he's good. They have a lot of good players with a star. It reminds me a lot of the Nuggets with Nikola Jokic, just a lot of good players surrounding him. This Grizzlies team is going to be a pain in the ass to face in the playoffs because they're like the old school Grizzlies where it's grit and grind. You are not going to get out of there with a blowout win. If you do, you got to be extremely hot. I'm excited to see where they go as an NBA fan, but I'm not excited if we have to face them in a 7-game series because I hope they get bounced in the first round. Hopefully you guys bounce them in the first round. You guys play us, then we sweep you.
No, no, thank you. You know what? Since you're so hell-bent on getting us to root for a different team, I'll join the Memphis bandwagon. Why not? I could go with that.
Ja for MVP.
Oh my god.
No.
Warriors. You know what's crazy is one way or another, bro. I have a fan for literally every team in the NBA, which is crazy. So I go to the gym with this guy. He's a big Memphis fan because he used to live out there, and he was very unsure of Ja at first. But boy, did he switch up real fast, right? And I agree with Draymond. Candidate-wise, he should definitely be in there. Although I don't think he's gonna win unless for some crazy reason the Grizzlies just leap everybody and go to the first seed and just start going crazy. That's the only way that he would win. But as of right now, he should definitely be in the conversation, right? I think he's running away with MIP. That's a no-brainer. Sure. He's winning that. He established that. And I honestly, you know, I like watching the Grizzlies play too, just not when it's against my team because, you know, first of all, I hate Tillman because he beat that Zion-led Duke team. Second, I don't like Desmond Bane because all of a sudden he starts shooting and he thinks he's like better than any shooting guard in the league. I respect the confidence, but, you know, you got to be humble. Dylan Brooks, that dude is just, man, I don't know what to say about that guy. And yeah. I know Warrior fans especially hate him. He's probably that guy that you would love to have on your team, but you hate him playing against him. And what was that streak that the Grizzlies went on? 18? Not 18. 18? Oh, wow. Okay. So they were going crazy.
I'm not sure about the actual number, but it was like ridiculous.
It was like 11 or 12, and then it was like something like the last 15 out of 17.
Yeah. And so they had a streak going, and you know it's crazy because within those two streaks, Luka beat them twice. I think that's their kryptonite, the Mavericks, right? And so another reason why I love Ja is because he always shows up to play. It doesn't matter who the team, but for some reason, especially the Warriors, he loves the bright lights of freaking Chase Arena, bro. Like, you know? And this season, however the Grizzlies end it, will be defined by that two-handed pin that he had on Avery Bradley. My God, that was insane. You know, that's probably my favorite play that he had this season. And that dunk that he had against Brooklyn. My God, bro. Like, Ja, he's coming, bro. He is one of the best point guards in the league. And, you know, it's crazy because that draft class had Zion, all these other guys, but clear cut, Ja is the best player in that draft. RJ Barrett's giving him a run for his money, but Ja is just, he's going crazy. And I love to see it because, you know, no disrespect to De'Aaron Fox, but, you know, that's who people saw when De'Aaron Fox first came into the league. And that's how Westbrook should be playing. but no, he's Westbrook and this is Ja. So, yes, to answer the topic, he should definitely be in MVP conversation. Not sure he's going to win it, like I said, but he deserves to be in that conversation.
Yeah, and I think go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that I always thought that Ja was better than Zion coming out of the draft because I thought Zion had a lot of issues, and I've been right so far, but I feel like he's kind of like slowly finding his way to New York to now join Cam Reddish and RJ. That's at least what I think because he's very unhappy in New Orleans for what it sounds like.
I would be too, man.
he might jump ship and be a Knicks fan. Would you?
Dude, no.
I feel like there's a good chance you would, no?
I wouldn't be a Knicks fan just because of their history and how they can never, ever get over the mountaintop. But
and you got to do with Julius Randle.
I would root for them. Bro, if them three if those three got together in New York, that would be my secondary team. I'm telling you right now.
Easily.
Never, yeah, But anyways, sorry, Myles. Go.
No, you're good. I agree. Jaw is definitely in the conversation. It would take something crazy, as you said, them like being the second or first seed to win. I do have him behind Jokic and Embiid still because Jokic is just carrying. Like it's like James Harden-esque before when the Rockets had no one. So, but I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying it. He's probably my favorite player in the league right now. Probably a little bit because of the Warrior Killer stuff, but
Not Russ.
dude, exactly. Imagine Russ, but good and efficient. That's
And
Josh.
steady on pace.
Yeah, dude. It's just watching him play. You know how like watching guys play, they just steal the show. Like Steph, KD, Braun at times. Like Ja has that. He should be all NBA first team this year. If he's not, that'd be egregious.
Yep.
Yeah, I would not want to see them in the playoffs if I were any team because they have depth and they're not scared of anyone. So good on them.
Yep.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, dude.
Real great.
No, look at it's tough to say because like in the playoffs, you need other stars to really complement your superstar. And in a 7-game series, I think against the right team, they're gonna win. But once you get into the deeper part of the playoffs, I think they're gonna struggle because they don't have that secondary guy. Jaren Jackson is really good, but he has a lot of injury issues, and he's not super consistent from the field. So I don't know. I'm excited to see what they do as an NBA fan because I think they're going to be a really good team, especially next season. If they can get another star, I don't want to play them ever. Just
Who I would actually love for them to trade for is Bradley Beal.
he'd be perfect.
That'd
He'd
be
be perfect.
amazing.
Whew.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah,
God,
I
that'd
would
be
hate
disgusting.
Memphis.
I would not want to play the two of them.
I
Oh,
think they'd be the best team in the West. To be, I mean, like depending on what they'd have to give up, but that's
Yeah.
a nasty just backcourt.
And
yeah.
I just want to shout out Steven Adams. I am still praying that he becomes a Laker one day. He's solid, bro. I love watching Steven Adams.
He just knows what to do.
Yeah.
Plays
Doesn't
within
complain.
himself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just plays. That's the most important thing. And like, bro, like he's incredibly strong. Like, you know what I mean? Like he competes too, and like that's a solid big. And I'm glad Ja finally has that over Valanciunas.
Yeah.
Because that boy, like, you saw what he did when he was playing with Russ, and now he is doing the exact same thing with the second coming of Russ, but way better and more control, like we agreed. So, yeah, shout out to the Grizzlies, man. They're doing it.
I think when they made that trade for Steven Adams, I was like, I don't really get it because like Valanciunas does a lot on the stat sheet,
Mhm.
Same.
but he doesn't affect the game as much. He's like an Andre Drummond, right? Puts up like 20 games, but you're not going to get the win. Steven Adams defends really well, finishes when he needs to, play makes, just does literally everything. And he's a calm person, doesn't get in a ton of fights. He actually breaks up a ton of fights.
Yeah, bro.
It's hilarious to see him do it, but
I forgot who it was, but he straight up carried another player like away.
Tony
from,
Bradley, bro.
Yeah,
Was it?
Tony
Oh,
Bradley.
yeah.
Bro, Tony Bradley's 6'10", bro.
Yeah.
And
Dude's
he
huge.
just carried him. And he just carried him like nothing.
And I don't know if you guys saw Tony Bradley's face, but he like saw who it was. He smiled. He's like, okay,
Oh, yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
stop now.
Yeah. Yep. Nope. Hell no, bro.
Well, if you pick a fight
Man.
with Steven Adams, you got a death wish. That's
Yeah.
Facts.
that's tough.
Nope. Agreed.
But John Morant for sure should be an MVP candidate, and I think he's gonna lose to Steph.
You almost had it.
Yeah.
I think.
Hey, if you said KD,
honestly,
I would have agreed.
KD might be well. If he didn't get hurt, KD would be a really good
Yeah.
candidate. But I think it's going to be Embiid. because Embiid's on a winning team. Jokic doesn't have the winning team, unfortunately, but he's still carrying the fuck out of the Nuggets. But Embiid has been like 50 and 27 minutes. That's ridiculous.
Efficient. That's
Yeah.
crazy to me.
Which is why I hate what Daryl Morey's doing even more. Like, how
He's
are you gonna
ruining
God,
the
dude?
prime?
Exactly. You
And
can't
just because he's
fumble.
petty as shit.
Yep.
And he, like,
Man.
I don't know why he wants James Harden like that. Because James Harden kind of like, he's kind of regressed, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
Shit, bro.
maybe
James
he comes
Harden is
back
still
and plays
James
the
Harden.
same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Better than Ben Simmons.
Yeah, way better than Ben Simmons. Yeah.
But I don't know what you have to give up. Because you're looking at like what? Maybe Tyrese Maxey and Ben and Tobias.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know. I mean, the salaries are not going to match, but probably looking at a package like that plus picks.
Yep.
That's a lot to give up for James Harden. So I don't know. I'm excited for the offseason. The trade deadline is going to be insane, I feel like. We always do this. We always talk about the trade deadline and nothing happens. So we'll see what happens. But that's going to do it for us. That's episode 68 of Full Court Talk. Thank you guys for coming back. It's been a minute. So this was fun. I needed this.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Yeah,
of course.
Glad to be back, man.
But check out our links down in the description. Please like, comment, and subscribe. But that's going to do it for us. So we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.